Okay, so let's discuss some of the most important concepts of business environment also. Now, when you study business environment, the first thing that comes into mind is types of environment, right? Types of environment with special emphasis on internal and external environment and macro and micro environment. But I would still pay much emphasis on the whole this important concept of types of environment, taking special care of internal and external environment, right? So whenever this subject of business environment it comes into mind, जो पहला और सबसे important concept जो आपको देखना है, that is types of environment. The first and the most important concept that one should always consider is types of environment, and that is paying special consideration on internal and external environment. Number two, various important regulating authorities like RBI, SEBI, IRDA and SIDBI. So when you start studying business environment, one should always, study in detail about the role of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, the central bank, the main bank of India, which is regulating the whole banking sector. Role of RBI, role of SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, which is regulating the whole share market, the stock market, right? Which are basically termed as NSE, National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange. तो सारे के सारे शेयर मार्केट सिक्योरिटीज सेक्टर को जो अथॉरिटी गवर्न कर रही है, that is SEBI. Then IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Act, which is defining and regulating the whole insurance sector. उसका भी रोल बहुत important है. And then SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, and the basic role of SIDBI is to promote, develop and finance MSMEs. What are MSMEs? Micro, small and medium enterprises. तो MSMEs का मतलब micro बिल्कुल small, and then next level is small. So micro, small and medium enterprises को इस पूरे जो सेक्टर है इसको गवर्न कर रहा है जो बैंक, that is SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India. So that you will get a feel of all the regulating authorities like RBI, SEBI, IRDA and SIDBI. तो उनका रोल भी बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट में बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है. So the next thing that comes into my mind when this subject is being discussed, business environment, is the role of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, then IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Act, and further SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India. Next, number 3. The third most important concept is LPG. Now, what does LPG stands for? Liberalization, privatization and globalization, with special reference to financial sector, when the insurance sector was thrown wide open to all the global companies of the world. तो जब भी आप पढ़ें liberalization, privatization, globalization, this whole concept should be studied with reference to financial sector and automobile sector also. LPG के बाद में then there are some policies like import policy, export policy, short में इसको EXIM policy भी बोला जाता है, export import policy. So this is important. Then fiscal policy and monetary policies. तो जब ये आप सारी रेगुलेटिंग अथॉरिटीज पढ़ें और उसके बाद लिबरलाइजेशन, प्राइवेटाइजेशन, ग्लोबलाइजेशन करें, वन मस्ट ऑल्सो स्टडी in detail about EXIM, export import policy. Rather we should write the full form: export import policy, fiscal policy and monetary policy. उसके बाद next is FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, and another very important act, that is Consumer Protection Act. Their salient features and the objectives. FEMA stands for Foreign Exchange Management Act, and then you have this Consumer Protection Act, right? After that, when you go through with these concepts called types of environment, internal, external, role of RBI, SEBI, IRDA, SIDBI, LPG, export import policy, fiscal policy, then FEMA, consumer protection. Then there is one more important concept which is called as role of agriculture. Role of agriculture in development. So agriculture plays an important role in the development of a big nation, of a developing nation like India. This is probably one of the biggest sector. And what role does agriculture play, and how is government developing this whole sector? That is also very, very important, like giving subsidized electricity, water, waiving of farmer loans, which is getting in tremendous importance these days. So role of agriculture in promoting development of a country, that is again very, very important. Then there is a very relatively easy concept called mergers and acquisitions. Mergers and acquisitions and role of FDI. Role of FDI, right? The foreign direct investment that is coming into a nation. So mergers and acquisitions, and ultimately role of FDI. That is also very, very important as far as business environment, this whole subject is concerned. So while you start preparing for this subject, my suggestions are these, and in this order, so that you find the subject very, very interesting, although it's a tedious subject. And there are some important details also in export import policy, fiscal policy and monetary policy, but on the whole it is a very, very important subject which one can never ignore, and you should always pay attention on these topics while you start the preparation of this subject called business environment.